I'm Tia Borden with MiningIR, and today I have with me Wes Hanson of Xplore Resources Corp. Wes, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you, Tia. It's a pleasure to be here.
Wes, can you give us a little bit of an overview of the company and how it came to be?
Well, Xplore Resources is a newly minted junior mining company. We got our public listing about a year ago in October, so 10 months, and that was through a reverse takeover of a Vancouver listed company, and we started trading, and here we are today.
Amazing. And can you give us an overview of the current projects that Xplore Resources is working on and what jurisdictions they're in?
Well, our listing project, which allowed us to gain our initial listing with the TSX Venture exchange, was a copper project in Vancouver Island, which is one of the prime hunting areas for large copper deposit discoveries, and we're quite fortunate to have a copper project on Vancouver Island to continue to advance. And since our listing, we've acquired 2 additional exploration properties in the Red Lake district of Ontario. They're both highly prospective for gold. They're greenfields projects, but they show a great deal of potential, and we're quite excited to have the opportunity to work both of those properties.
I can imagine. Wes, can you tell us how past exploration projects are putting Xplore Resources ahead for the upcoming exploration projects this year?
Well, the 2 Ontario properties have very minimal exploration work completed on them to date. One of them, the Upper Red Lake project, is in the Berde Greenstone Belt. That one has seen a very minimal amount of work, predominantly by the Geological Survey of Canada, which identified anomalous gold in till samples across our claim package. And those anomalous gold in till samples included a number of pristine, what we term in the business, pristine gold grains. And if you think about it this way, a pristine gold grain is a gold grain that hasn't moved very far in 3-dimensional space. So it suggests that the presence of those pristine gold grains sort of suggests that the gold hasn't been transported a great distance, and the source should be relatively close to where the sample was taken. About 50% of all the total gold grains observed in the GSC sampling were classified as pristine, and we're quite excited about the opportunity that presents. And additionally, in addition to that favorable indicator, the property lies adjacent to Prosper Gold's property, which includes their Golden Sidewalk project, which is one of the more exciting exploration plays in the Berde camp today. The second Red Lake project is located north of Red Lake along a major structural zone, and if anything has taught me, 40 years of business in geology has taught me anything, it's that being close to major structures is always a favorable location. It's better to be close to a major structure than far away. So,
sorry, Wes, what's the reason for that?
The relationship between structure and gold deposits. It just the structures offer conduits or feeders or channels for gold to be placed in the rock. It's a greater opportunity. It's a preparatory thing, so it creates breccias or fracture zones or fissures or things for rising solutions that are enriched in gold to deposit their gold throughout the system. So proximity to major structures is never a bad exploration model to use when you're acquiring assets. And our final property, the Valk Copper project in northern British Columbia, or northern Vancouver Island, I should say, that has had more work done on it than any of our other projects. It's got an extensive soil sampling grid, which has identified anomalous copper grades over a 3-kilometer long by 500-meter wide trend. And that trend is also coincident with a major regional structure system. And that regional structure system traces directly back to the old Island copper mine, which at one point in time was one of the most productive copper mines in British Columbia history.
Wow. Now it sounds like you guys have a ton of stuff in the works, and it's going to be an exciting year for you coming up. Now, 2020 obviously was a very difficult year all around, but I imagine there was some success in 2020 for you guys. Can you share some of the milestones that you may have hit?
Well, certainly we were very pleased to get to gain our public listing. It was a challenge to do everything using using basically electronic communications and trying to set everything up without the benefit of in-person meetings. But we managed to get it done, and that's a testament to everybody's effort. The management and the board of directors worked diligently to obtaining the listing and starting the company's path towards greatness, for lack of a better way of putting it.
Now,
and then we followed that up by acquiring, building our portfolio of projects and acquiring two excellent opportunities in one of the, probably one of the forgotten gold districts in Canada. There's three primary gold districts in Canada: the Abitibi, which is in northern Quebec, the Timmins Camp, and the third one would be Red Lake. And Red Lake, of the three, is probably the least well understood and the least well explored. So we're quite fortunate to have been able to acquire those assets.
Wow, so COVID didn't hit you guys, hold you back at all?
Not really. I mean, it's always been challenging. Without the ability to travel, it always makes it very challenging to do proper due diligence on assets. But in the case of the two Red Lake properties that we acquired, there really wasn't that much past exploration work that had been done, so we were able to quickly evaluate them and decide to move ahead with those acquisitions.
So you had success last year, and I have no doubt that you're going to have even more success this coming year. Can you tell investors what they have to look forward to in 2022?
Well, first and foremost, we just completed a flow-through financing of about $350,000, which we plan to spend by the end of this fiscal year. So that will allow us to do the initial exploration work on our Red Lake properties and to extend the geochemical soil sampling grid at our Valk project and try to expand the copper and soil anomaly, and also to evaluate the gold potential associated with that copper and soil anomaly, which has not been done to date. So we'll do airborne surveys and do a little bit of boots on the ground geology to try to confirm the regional mapping that's been done by the government, and highlight areas where we want to go back in the spring of next year with follow-up sampling programs in Ontario and try to make a gold discovery.
Amazing. Wes, is there any other information that you'd like to leave our investors with?
Just like every other junior company, we're kind of better positioned than many others. We have a good portfolio of projects. We have a minimal number of shares issued and outstanding, about 38 million, with 45 million fully diluted, in that range. We've traded between 8 cents and 14 cents for the year. So we see lots of upside in the stock. We think we have great properties in Ontario and in British Columbia. We're doing boots on the ground geology work, and we think that'll add value for our shareholders going forward, and we look forward to doing exactly that.
Amazing. Now, if people want more information on Xplore Resources, they can go to MiningIR.com, and I'm sure you have a number of different platforms they can go to as well.
Oh, of course. I mean, we have our own website, XploreResources.com, and our Facebook page, which I don't really dabble on too much, but I know there's a Facebook page out there that gives more background and more information on the company, and we'll be looking at expanding our investor reach in the future as we grow the company.
Wonderful. Wes, thank you so much for taking the time today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Tia. It was a pleasure to meet you. And again, thanks for the opportunity to speak to your investors today. We look forward to delivering on our promises.
We'll chat with you soon. Thanks, Wes.
Thank you. Have a nice day.